我的天哪！但没关系，如果真的是这样的情况，我相信也是会继续为大家带来直播的。
是的。那好，我们看一下双方选手应该还在调试，那这样的话，第2场会显得更加重要。
是的。
主要是给到了 EP。
那上一场的话，其实说实话，上一场这个老醒目，真的，我觉得他打了不少时间的酱油在那边。
是。
我没最关键是真的没有注意到他蹲在哪里，真的没有注意到。
的确没像以前那么开始。那我们这场比赛，我们就好好的关注一下他，看他到底在干嘛。
老醒目6级一手动态伪装。也是让我，
而且他到最后16级，他总共升的什么是升的 W，
他升了一个
升的动态伪装，我觉得真的很有可能他就是这个3段的有可能的，因为本来对面就是一个盲僧，你跟他遭遇了，就是说你多一段也跟没有也，
他一技能是可以把你拍出来的，
对，跟多一段跟没有这个问题也。
你是觉得他还是觉得他是点错了是吧？
就有可能。
当然了，这个未解之谜一会儿需要我赛后去跟他确认一下。我估计以他的性格，就算点错了，他也不会说的，他肯定是啊，我没有，我就是这么想的。
And welcome back everyone to our second game here. It is the Energy Pacemaker face-off. As Energy Pacemaker takes on Energy Pacemaker carries. Energy Pacemaker, just the 2 letters, are up 1-0 in our best of 3 in our upper bracket. I'm, of course, Pastry Time, joined by Razzleplasm here for our next game. And Razzle, pretty interesting game 1, very slow by both teams. I almost feel like EP didn't quite play to their potential in the matchup.
They didn't. They definitely had the aura of basically looking down on EPC. They played the early game a little way too safe, and then they got caught quite off guard. And then once EPC was like maybe playing game a little bit too, how do I put it, bush-based, a little bit too passively, yep. Just trying to catch EP off guard. And EP was like, okay, we need to play this game a little like, we need to take this seriously. So,
Well, so we'll see what happens here with EP 1 game up. Actually, one on the red side, by the way, breaking our curse for the day. But Rengar, John, and Rise are the bans there for the blue side. And Energy Pacemaker carries it banned out Thresh, Lee Sin, and Na, with Kha'Zix being the first pick up here. 13 seconds left for that pick there. Syndra does get locked in and could see Jarvan's no. So good, strong start here. And the big difference here between these 2 games is no Galio ban this time.
Yeah. You might see the last pick Galio, you never know, but
I'm excited.
Oh boy. I guess Lee Sin's just been denied in the past 4 games or so. We just haven't been seeing it because of how proficient these players are on it.
Yep, Aurelia and Nami quickly gets locked in there as well for the Energy Pacemaker side, so they'll go back to some pretty strong stuff. Amazing J is going to go back onto Aurelia, which he was very comfortable on. I believe also we had Nami, and in fact I think these 3 champions are exactly 2 champs that EP already played, if I recall correctly, so we'll have to see.
Yep, if you're successful once, you just keep hammering it through, so it's a really good idea here. Seems like EPC is the one that's trying to change up their line, maybe?
We'll see. I mean, Jarvan's a bit more aggressive if they do want to go for it. That Leona pick does get locked in there. 3 seconds left as well. 2-1 Jarvan? I think so. And I like this. I like this line from EPC a lot. I think they realize that, you know what? We kind of might be underdogs in this matchup as far as teamwork and experience and just general skill goes. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to get super aggressive. We're not going to play Zillion. We're not going to do any of these shenanigans. We're just going to try and kill you early and often and snowball the game that way. And I think it's really, really smart, given what we saw from them in the first game and just how we kind of see them in the matchup in general. Was Xerath and Corki the last 2 picks. EP are done with a very safe, very standard comp here. And oh my goodness, that can't be real.
No, I'm not going to accept that.
I will accept it if that's what they want to pick, but oh man, they're playing with me right now.
Super Cat, come on, man. Come on, Super Cat. Your name is troll enough. Now you're just Aatrox. Okay, alright.
See, I would actually believe that in the Chinese scene that Aatrox would happen, but we'll see. He's doing something. They're actually missing a top laner. Yeah. Oh man.
Feel like it's probably gonna be Maokai. Fizz. It is, isn't it? Fizz would be so good.
Oh my goodness.
It would be. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Fizz, it is.
Fizz has seen a lot of play. Fizz top was what I mean. Has seen a lot of play. Oh really? Yeah, it's mostly not a lot, but it's basically an outside pick. Like, for instance, one main Fizz player that people are obviously know I'm going to mention is Flandre. Flandre has made Fizz top thing, in my opinion. He brought it out, and I'm not even sure if he's lost with it, honestly. He has just dominated on it, and it's just because of the threat factor it brings. Like, if you get that lane snowballing, and with the Fizz lane, of course, if you have a strong jungler, that means you will always have a stronger 2v2. And so the enemy team, they're basically goading the enemy team to fighting that 2v2 in the top lane, and if they don't, they just put enough pressure, in which Fizz will basically always win out in that matchup, depending, I guess, on who it is. But it is against the Aurelia, am I correct? Yes, it is against the Aurelia.
Yes.
So that's I
I
haven't even seen that matchup before, so that might be a little tricky. But it's definitely something to watch out for. The early TP might be what he's looking for.
Well, it's not Galio, but I'll take it. Fizz top is our last pick there for Energy Pacemaker carries, and they do need something here. Backs against the wall. Got to rattle off 2 straight games to stay in the upper bracket. Remember, it's double elim here in the expansion tournament, so plenty of chances for both these teams. Still, we're only in the second best-of-3 set in the upper bracket. We've got a couple more teams. I've got, I think, 4 more teams left to still play their upper bracket games as well. So lots and lots of League of Legends left. I'm curious to see what happens with the Fizz. Is it AP or AD Fizz, by the way? I assume it's still AP.
Yeah,
or is there some sort of crazy? But okay,
it's AP. That's so cool. It's not too crazy. It's there, but it's not ridiculous. And of course, Legend Dragons also played the. I think it was during the group stages they played it against OTM, I believe. With the it was really so Potato, I can't believe I said that. Yeah, his name, the top laner for Legend Dragon, is named Potato, so that's fun. I can't stop laughing every single time I say that name. So he played the Fizz into the group stages, and I think we saw Fizz also played in the bracket stages for the TGA. So it comes up every now and again, and it's fairly successful. So let's see how it works out here. Catalyst on both top laners as expected. I guess Aurelia doesn't really want to play this too aggressively.
Yeah, let's go with that Crystalline Flask here. So 1:25 seconds. EPC are camping in a bush, seeing if they're maybe looking for a late invade here. But blue buff has been defensively warded, so we'll have to see what happens here. EPC So EP will spot EPC if they wander in. In fact, both teams are going to set up for this very funky late 4-man invade with, maybe a mid laner could get sandwiched here down the bottom.
They do have vision. Yeah, Syndra's going to create. I'm pretty sure he saw him. Yeah, they have the ward there too, so that they definitely see them. So, yeah, just a trade in the blue buffs. And it amounts to a 2v1 split on both teams. Should be in favor. It's kind of awkward for a Leona, a 2v1, but it's all right. Okay, I just realized. Yeah, 2v1ing a Fizz is horrible. This is something teams haven't really done against Flunder, because as well as successful as it's been, he needs the gold. He really does, because once just getting the early sheen, I think the early snowball, because of course he's a carry top laner, and if he doesn't get that gold, he starts to fall off. While Aurelia she doesn't need the gold she just builds tanky if she needs to. She's very efficient when it comes to her builds.
Yes, they've actually opted for the swap, because I believe they initiated this lane swap, but decided that double jungling is okay, which is, fine for Fizz. As you said, he really doesn't want to be in a 2v1, but he's actually just going to hang out here with Blank. Looks like the left side of the jungle, the top side, belongs to EP this game, and EPC will have... Sorry, EPC, that's their side, and EP will have the bottom side, so the dragon side, which could make a difference in a couple minutes if we do see an early dragon here. 3 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock as we've kicked things off nice and early. Xerath, a little bit low there. Definitely expected to be behind in the early stages of this matchup against Syndra, who again is just such a strong, safe mid lane.
I feel like every single time we've seen a Xerath pick, he's picked himself into a poor lane, but just looking past the lane in general, just to really look forward to these. Oh, he's actually okay. No, okay. So they're looking for a gank in the bottom lane. Some movement's happening here. It's interesting to see actually. Okay, no, it looks like Kha'Zix and Amazing Jay will be rotating into the mid lane to see if they can get something off of Syndra.
And I think EP were thinking about a really early dragon, and then actually got sniffed out because they ended up on the other side anyway. But Amazing Jay's going to come in. Stun will miss there as the flash does get forced out there. So nice bit of pressure there from EP. Mid laner forces out that flash. Unfortunately, though, the 3-man gank does go a bit wide.
Yeah. Well, nice flash though. That's really solid, and it's like Syndra really values her flash. That will pretty much mark her as a dead man in the next gank if it comes through.
And I do like what EPC are doing here as well, by the way. They kind of rotated down. We're like, we really don't want to fall behind to this early dragon, which I think they thought EP was setting up for. So EPC is going to leave Fizz here with Lilian. It's going to be Lucian Aurelia as our top lane matchup. So lots and lots of swaps.
God, I can't even believe this is happening. Aurelia is just sitting in that bush to eat up the experience, and she's doing it very successfully. Like, that's really smart on her behalf. Lucian's not really doing much to stop her, I guess. And there you go, dead man. Dead man alert.
Uh-oh. Dive in the mid there, Syndra getting jumped on. Kha'Zix is coming through, and Xerath is able to clean it up. The teleport does come in, but maybe wasted here. The knockup does come through. Jarvan actually gets the counter kill as they're able to clean that up. So nice trade there back and forth, but now Supercat's in trouble as Kane is running in on this Corki. They will run back though. There's now Lovelater and Amazing J hanging out in the top lane. So good trades early on. A few more kills than we had in the early stages of our last game. It's now 1-1.
I'd really rather would have seen Fizz getting that kill, but either way, Jarvan with the kill just as good. He can now he can commit to helping every other lane and having that strength with him.
Yeah, there was a pretty aggressive teleport actually by Fizz, but I guess if he knows he's going to be in the bottom lane anyway, it's actually fine for him to pick a bit of extra gold. So kind of funny. I mean, Lovelater here, the XP advantage is really the issue. It's why Amazing J was just hanging out in that top lane bush and being like, please don't check in here.
Uh-oh. We're going to have a 3-man gank here, though.
I can see if Fizz running through with a Jarvan here. And this is quite the dive squad, if ever there was one. Aurelia, not so good at level 3. It's kind of an extension of the old 3-man level 1 tower dive here. And now Amazing J, very creative, actually gets onto a creep. But Supercat's around the top as well. A 4-man gank. The flash is off. The Zenith blade lands. Exhaust goes down as well. There's a stun, but you know what? Everyone actually joined in on that. 4 assists and a kill there for Fizz finally.
That was a
Team
lot.
effort there for EPC.
Yeah, that was a lot being allocated to the top lane. It looks like Corki should be able to maybe get the turret. No, he's going to back away. Just deny as much CS as he can in that bottom lane. They are sitting up in this top lane, EPC. They're probably... Oh my god, Amazing J. They're just committing so much into just putting...
down this around.
Yeah, they're going to try and shut him down as much as they can. He comes up top. Will they stop their backs? No, they won't.
Black actually going to go back as well, so they'll just kind of settle Lovelater into a pretty comfortable 1v1 here. He's going to get plenty of farm. Aurelia has been starved out. Now, so is Fizz, but he has a kill and an assist. He's at least been roaming around the map, helping his team and, you know, getting whatever experience and gold he can as he kind of roams around in the jungle or moving between the lanes. Aurelia has got nothing but 3 CS and counting as she finally gets a bit of breathing room in that top lane. So if the plan is to shut down Amazing J, and his Aurelia looked spot on in the first game, it's working really nicely so far for EPC. But the gold lead's still pretty narrow despite all those kills. I mean, with a 1 kill difference, it's probably going to be in the early game 400 gold or so, and a nice check of that brush there as well.
Yeah, they have certainly created a culture of hiding into bushes, so
they have.
So they gotta just keep warding them up or just checking them every bush they come by, with the expectation that they'll find some people.
Yep. I'm sure there's like some sort of science theory that states that at any point the whole 5 members of a team could be in any bush simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
It's actually going to have kind of a cute blue buff defense here. Syndra actually dragged it away as EP were looking for a 4-man invade trying to take it out. I don't know what happened to the blue buff. I assume Syndra was able to pick it up there, but that was a pretty nice use of that W to make sure to secure that. Although she may have just reset it instead, which would be fine also. But that was adorable. Anything cute. I love cute plays. That one was adorable. In fact, this is a nice answer. They might just take the blue buff themselves.
There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty nice play, actually.
Yep, so here we go. Gonna move in. Blank's like, hey guys, how are you? Thanks for the blue buff. It's watered as well. Nice use of the skills to pop up though. EP will start the dragon though instead. Yeah, Leon is here as well. Level 3 actually, so no ultimate. Obviously gonna be a fair ways away from that. Xerath coming into poke as well. There's the culling actually. Lucian's level 6. That's a really nice advantage. Able to cut out the rest of the dragon. He does get it, Captain. Beautiful secure. No, everyone has to close well and truly out of the way. Good use of the flashes there as well. A little bit too big investment there for EP to have to use the summoner spells, but they do get out cleanly with the dragon. So Nice little play there.
Lucian with the massive early level advantage. That was actually pretty scary for EP. But you know, I was just about to say EPC because we were looking at EP Captain 57.
Yep, he's trolling me all night.
Yeah. But yeah, like that was actually really well played. Lucian was pretty scary, but they were able to get out as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't really expect the AD carry to be level 6 already just because he's not normally sitting in a solo lane, but that's what's happening. Loveletter gotten a good amount of farm. He's 68 to 65. Corki, to his credit, keeping up nicely, but they've kind of started up this Aurelia. Only 24 CS with Fizz. Again, not a whole lot of CS either, only 27 for him, but that kill and that assist. He's good, he's got his Sheen, he can keep maneuvering around the map. He hasn't quite hit level 6 yet, but neither has Aurelia, and if they were maybe worried about maneuvering this Fizz based on the lane swap, because they, again, chose to swap here for whatever reason, I guess maybe not wanting to fight Corki. Fizz is actually fine here, although Amazing J with all his creeps can get aggressive. Ultimate's up now for both of these top laners as well, but Fizz will just continue on farming, and everything's okay now. V's in a really strong spot as Fizz.
Yeah, Fizz was able to, their adaptation to the 2v1 was extremely well. Even though Fizz was really gold reliant, they were able to position him to succeed. And now Aurelia was stuck in a lane, really didn't farm the jungle as well as, like, at all, actually. So Fizz had the farm advantage. Fizz had the roam advantage as he was easily able to get a kill in the mid lane. It was just, and an assist, I mean. So it really worked out for him in general. So that was surprisingly, like, this team EPC is surprisingly good from what I can tell.
Yeah, their early game decision making is super solid as well. I think that's why we've seen them shine in both this game and the last game as well. But it's just a matter of, can their team fighting really hold up against a team with as much experience as Energy Pacemaker? Because that's definitely where they fell apart in the last game. But they've got a decent game right now. It's very close, still about 500 gold between these two teams. Captain, though, is going to rotate up, try and pick on this Fizz.
Bush doesn't seem to be warded, so he can go win. Fizz does have a lot of mobility, so let's just hope that he doesn't use his Playful Trickster to push in the lane, because if he does, it may spell doom for him.
Fizz is even extra mobile, just because if you have a nearby minion and you haven't used Urchin Strike, you can just pop out through a minion there as well. It's kind of like Yasuo's E, although it goes quite a bit longer. So yeah. Fizz has got a lot of safe options. He's, slippery in more ways than one.
Oh, and he warded out the river, so he thinks he's kind of safe. So this is where it all ends up.
Yeah,
they're just waiting.
Nice fight there.
They're just waiting for the Playful Trickster, and he's holding on to it so well.
Yeah, he's actually playing out very conservative here. I think Amazing J hasn't quite committed enough for Fizz to want to go deep, and there we go. Pops a Fizz. Great patience there from Captain, and now Amazing J is taking a lot of damage. Actually got to be careful. Gets Chum the Waters, almost goes down, and might die to the dot, but Captain's going to clean up that kill. Aurelia is going to live, managed to get enough health with Heat and style off an incoming minion, and that was perfectly played by Captain. Such patience as a jungler.
Yeah, that was beautiful. No, Amazing J, farming out the minion wave coming to the turret. That's so damn risky. A single minion just deciding, I'm not going to hit the turret anymore. That's just his death right there. So that was actually really well played out for Captain 57. He realized that Fizz has that mobility, and he just needs to wait and lull Fizz into a state of, oh, and here he goes. Yeah, shoot.
Xerath getting toved on. Not enough left. The Captain going to get yet another kill, and that's great lock up there from Xerath as well. So Syndra does go down, and the Kazakhs we kind of expected to see in Game 1 is really showing up here for EP in the early stages of this game.
Yep, this is what we want to see from Captain 57. This is exactly what we want to see. He's trying to show the enemy teams, just any team, anyone who's, oh, actually, looks like
Amazing J. He's all of a sudden, he's got a whole new lease on life here in this top lane. I mean, the components for a Lichbane have been finished for Fizz, but almost a fade, plus the Sheen here for Aurelia, and that's all she needs to try and bully this Fizz out. And I have to say, V's approaching a really nice pace for his Lichbane, which is crucial on Fizz. It's not so much about snowballing as getting that Lichbane at a good timing and then trying to snowball from there. Mm-hmm. But I don't know where Fizz is going to go, because he can't really leave the top lane. That's the awkward thing about this Fizz pick, is that it might be fine in lane. They navigated the 2v1 really well with the lane swap, but you can't afford to leave Aurelia in the top lane and just pushing by herself. And V, he's struggling just to fight right now, let alone roam once he does get his Lichbane.
Yeah, the biggest issue here is that the Fizz pick is generally really strong, because it does, once it gets rolling, once he starts getting the items and the kills, gold in general, which will come to an item advantage, he can start really just bullying out the enemy top laner, which is why I was kind of confused or just like I didn't understand this matchup because this doesn't work well for Fizz. Aurelia should be able to win out these fights in general once she starts getting her items. So it'll be
Good
interesting.
stun actually does land onto Blank, but no fob. No, never mind. Jarvan just dives in there. He's had a little bit of lag. Excuse me. And now that's a dead. Is Xerath, sorry, is Syndra's going to get the kill on the Nami. Corki picks up Jarvan. Up in the top lane, Amazing J is trying to make it happen, but can't quite follow up on the V. And a 2-for-1 trade in favor of EPC. They are fighting back in this early game. Drag it up in 15 seconds. Might be able to pick that up as well.
Last picking the Fizz into this matchup, probably a little ambitious, seeing as Aurelia's like, I don't know. But wow, that team fight in the mid lane was quite something. The Jarvan getting down that Cataclysm so fast we didn't even see the animation. So
yeah, it broke the game. He skipped a few frames ahead in time and just magically was on top of everyone.
Yeah. So this game's looking really competitive so far. EP does have a slight lead right now.
And that's kind of what worries me, because they didn't have a lead, if I recall correctly, in the last game, and just managed to kind of get it to late game, dawdled around a little bit, but we're able to find some strong team fights where, you know what, we're a good team, we're happy to fight you, and just use their comp strength. Here, they're fighting early and often, and they're picking much smarter early engages. EPC playing the early game well, they're onto this dragon now that's at about a quarter health. I think Captain's going to try and steal it once again. Does get it, just walks in there. The stun, though, does come in. He dies mid-lead to Lucian, but that steal should not happen.
That should not. It has no business of happening. He got stunned out, and he was like, nah, I still got it. Holy.
Doesn't matter. Like, you can still smite, but that was perfect. He didn't even leap. He just walked forward.
Yeah. He just walked in, smited it, and I guess while he wanted to get out of there, he's like, nah, I guess I'm just going to die now. So, well then.
Kane opening up on this Lucian as well, flashing forward. Lovelet maybe can outplay and does get the trade. That was a beautiful flash from Lucian to dodge the last rocket, to not quite die in time. And Nami not there. Very epic dive from Kane, gets him the kill, but nicely played from Lovelet to secure the trade. And these AD carries getting frisky. You can tell why Kane's going in too. Just finished his Trinity Force.
Mm-hmm. He saw the damage potential that he had, and he wanted to go in and get that kill. That would really secure a lead for his team. And he missed the ult, like he missed his, his missile, but he still got the kill. Actually. Ooh, the miss.
Missing there. Amazing J is like, I think I'm okay with this, buddy. Jarvan's actually coming in. Never mind, I'm not okay. Amazing J. Cataclysm's in there. Zenith played on top, and that should be easy. Clean up Xerath. Actually trying to make it competitive. Blank, though, does dodge out. Captains are here as well. Good slither from Leona trying to predict the walk-in. And now Syndra's coming in looking for the stun. Finds the slow. Xerath, though, gets that W. A great stun as well. Captain following in. Ridiculous AoE damage coming through, but Captain goes down to Fizz as V just leaps in there. But this Xerath is doing so much work. That's a great flash from Fizz to keep him safe as well. And another 2-for-1 trade in favor of EPC.
This is really confusing. I feel like you just can't expect the unexpected. As I came into this game thinking it would be a simple 2-0, and so far EP is like, I don't know what I'm seeing. I don't know if it's simply like EP underperforming or just EPC showing real power. And I think it's just EPC. It's probably EPC showing like how much potential that this team has. All of these players, including Supercat, by the way. Supercat's engages. Supercat's playing phenomenally.
I mean, it could be a bit of both. We thought that maybe in the first game, Energy Pacemaker were maybe underestimating their opponents in the early stages of the game, and then they managed to kind of be like, all right, let's pull the finger out and win the game. And they did quite handily once they got there. But EPC are fighting back, tightening up a lot of mistakes we might have seen in that first game. And this is a very competitive game and very different to the last one as well. 2,000 gold still in the lead for Energy Pacemaker, though. So they've kept a lead still despite all this. But for me, one of the hallmarks of Chinese League of Legends is how quickly teams collapse for fights in lanes. It's just incredible. Every gank feels like a 4-man gank. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you never see this, like, the move, too. Leona, right now, I guess she suddenly lives in the top lane, and
good bubble there, actually, on the Fizz. There's the Fizz, though, following in. Amazing J. Maybe beat off a little too much. He flashes out. Is that enough? It's not, as Leona's able to pick up that kill, but Kane is with the answering kill. And again, 4v1, everything goes in, and all of a sudden, 3 other members of Energy Pacemaker, they're ready for the trade.
Yep, it seems like EPC just loves their bushes, man. They just love lying in wait for an ambush, and that's just exactly what they've done. And sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not, and especially when it's like, I guess, guessed out. Like, EP definitely knows that this is EPC's plan, and sometimes they're able to catch it out. But yeah, it's a win-lose. It's hard to tell who's gaining the clear-cut advantage here.
Corki forced to back up, unfortunately. Doesn't know where anyone else is. Supercat was right there as well. Probably could have taken just Jarvan, but there was everyone else moving back up. EP, though, going to try and trade with a bit of counter push here on this mid turret. Nice culling earlier on from EPC to actually zone them out and collect the mid tower, but no dice there in the tower for EP. So as the dust settles, it's one apiece in turrets, actually. Their gold lead still here for Energy Pacemaker. Kills pretty close, though, with 2 kills being ahead in 9-7. Dragon is back up in 1 minute and 50 seconds exactly. And we could see, again, more fireworks. This has been a very entertaining game so far. Kind of much from what we're used to, I feel like, in the Chinese League of Legends. Just a lot of brawling. And Kane, I think that's a good way to put it. He's actually been playing phenomenally on this Corki. Oh, goodness, Jarvan. Forced to flash out. I think he'll be okay.
In and out. That's just the problem here. And the moment he went back, moment he went in, he's like, I think I need to flash out of here. This was not a good idea. Oh,
found some friends. Blankto does get out. Jarvan once again proving that he's quite slippery. No flash, able to EQ out over the top of the blue buff and get himself to safety. But it's kind of coming to that point we had in the last game. They're playing Aurelia Corki once again. Those Triforce are going to start getting finished. Corki's had his for a couple minutes. Aurelia might have hers on loyal. Did have to deviate because of the Fizz matchup and buy a Spectre's Cal instead. But once that's up there for Amazing J, I feel like EP are going to respect their power spike this time. And instead of kind of like having a couple team fights, but maybe not pushing their advantage, really start to hammer home, especially with the Xerath finishing up his Zhonya's there as well. And once again, Bilgewater Cutlass for this Corki, going for that Blade of the Ruin King second.
Yeah, it seems like it's just been the build to go for. There's not even a clear-cut tank coming out of the side of EPC, so it's just like the build to go for them.
I think it's the very duelist self-peel nature of the Chinese AD carriers. They feel very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, Supercat, forced to flash, so it gets out from under the bubble. Kane, though, still chasing, and he's doing a lot of damage. Actually, slow just missing. Ult does clip someone. Fizz gets the tower, but there's a kill for Kane, and EP might be able to rotate for even more objectives. 10 seconds to the Dragon. Mid turret's going to get pushed in here as well, and no TP here for Fizz. He's just forced to shove down the top lane and see what happens.
I think EP's alright with this trade here. Losing your top tower is, like, for the blue side, it's an okay trade. It's so close to Baron that it's not really that much to blink at, but they do need someone to go over there and to deal with it.
It really does have teleport. She can go whenever she feels it's safe. In fact, she's walking over there now to not have to use it. Dragon is going to go to Energy Pacemaker as well. As we cock just 21 minutes and 39 seconds, excuse me. This Dragon's picked up just before then. Blue buff does get stolen away, so nice movement from EPC. Kind of controlling the side of the map. They've had most of the game, actually, and towards the top, but needs a little bit more, and Energy Pacemaker starting to pick up the pace. Oh, blank, very cute. Does come through, and then we'll get that tower. Nice rotation from the team.
Oh, great disengage from Syndra. It seems like they're able to, well, the Lucia disengage probably not that needed, but that was... They knew they got the tower, and they didn't need that fight afterwards, so that was perfectly well placed.
And everyone else is kind of going to back off here. EPC going home, got some money to spend. Infinity Edge and the static shift done for Lucian, so he is in a very nice position of power. Fizz as well, needlessly large rod, working towards a potential death by a grasp with that amplifying tome in the inventory, which is super spicy Fizz builds. Oh, man.
The greatest thing about EPC right now is that they understand and they've adapted so quickly to this playstyle, because at first game they had no damage, or at least they had very little damage, and just relying on the AD carry Lucian, I believe. So now their solution to that is, first of all, they took away the Syndra and they decided they're going to have a carry top laner in Fizz. So now maybe it's possible that they have a bit too much damage and they need a little bit more tankiness to be able to correctly engage on these fights, but it looks like they're just using Fizz to split push and take these towers, so they're not having that problem at the moment.
I mean, Fizz not normally a top laner, especially AP Fizz, but doing his best top lane impression in this game. He's split pushing like he's trying to be Aurelia. I like, by the way, that he's never sitting in the same lane as Aurelia, because like, I don't want this. I don't want to fight you. I'm just going to try and trade. But there's the trade for EP. They pick up their outer top turret. 3 for 3 now as we even that up. And EPC got to be careful. Fizz still doesn't have his teleport. He will get that tower, but EP are really savaging down these towers in the top as well. Or trying to, at least.
Aurelia is heading down to deal with this push, though I'm not so sure if EP will be able to take this top lane tower. It might be a win-win actually for EP. They should be able to definitely stop the Fizz split push and at the same time take this top tower, but it just depends really.
Yeah, it might take them a bit more time, but Amazing J is more than happy to fight. That's a good ultimate there from Fizz. The ult does get popped by Aurelia as we're going to keep chasing through. Blade Surge not quite back. Playful Trickster should keep him out. Amazing J does have his flash. I wonder if he wants to commit. Although, in fact, Fizz flashed over the Dragon Ball.
He definitely flashed over the wall. He didn't want any bit of that.
He's still going, by the way. Aurelia is still chasing Fizz up the mid lane. Maybe just going to turn it into a mid lane push instead, as the rest of EP carries are still hanging out.
They should take this tower. They blew just
Xerath poke.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, he's going to try and look for an ult. Xiaoshu's going to be careful. No, not going to find it. Probably needed 2 bolts there for the kill, possibly all 3, but that poke should be enough for that tower, just like you said.
They do need a minion wave, though. They're just waiting patiently for it.
Yep. This is the awkward part of sieging where you're like, we're just going to hang.
Yeah, let's start dancing. Show our moves, man.
Yeah, bottom lane's pushing back again, but Aurelia's possibly going to cut the wave off. Oh, no, never mind. Stealing the blue off instead, it seems like, wants to be Amazing J's next move. And yeah, he'll be able to stop the push as well.
What's the reference to Xerath's dance? I never actually did understand. I probably should switch it up.
Don't remember. I'm sure that is on the internet somewhere.
Somewhere.
That can't be difficult to find. In fact, someone in chat can probably tell you. There's Amazing J getting clear out the waves. Pops his ultimate, pretty short cooldown there, so happy to use it. And the Trinity Force has been finished there as well as the double item spike for Corki, who has a boatload of mixed damage now between Sorkshu's T-Force and the Blade of the Ruined King. So Kane, who is doing a significant amount of damage before, is going to be ripping through people for the next few minutes of this game until some more mitigation is found. But EPC getting super, super cute.
They decided, you know what, they're going to expect us to be in a bush. So, you know what, let's hide in the camp near the bush.
I like that they didn't aggro it either, by the way. They were just like, if they think it's still here, we're good. They'll come. But it doesn't work, and EPC kind of struggling. It seems like they have decent early games. They're able to make strong plays in the early stages, even get ahead in some instances. But when they get behind, it feels like they kind of flounder in this mid game, and it's not what you want to be, especially with EP kind of revitalized. I think they feel like they've got a much clearer, much stronger sense of this game. After a pretty slow first game from them.
They should honestly try and just go for a fight here because, actually, there goes Fizz's ultimate. He kind of needs that for a fight. I feel like this is generally the time that EP starts to take over the game.
Jeez, they're gonna go in though. Fizz is straight in there. Nami's coming through. That's a beautifully timed wave. Actually knocks up the zombies, but there's no one else is in there. Amazing J is kind of tanking everyone. Captain's off to the side, couldn't get back into the fight. He's gonna have to put a love letter and get the kill, but that's still not enough. And 3 for 1 there. Oh, Amazing J. That was not the way to walk between those turrets. 4 for 1 the trade there. And EPC exactly what they need, despite the questionable walk there from Aurelia. In fact, EPC get a run to Baron maybe as well. What were they thinking? Just down the bottom with no one in position. The EPC are like, oh yeah, we're fine, let's go.
Yeah, and it was at a crucial power spike for Fizz too. Fizz was able to get his Zonias, his Lich Bane. He has a lot of damage on him right now. So they didn't see it coming. And they did their patented they just looked down on this team. EPC is super ready for these fights. Oh, actually,
Xerath's here. He's actually still here. There's so many people low. Gets the first kill, gets the second. No, Syndra gets the Baron though. That's enough though, but they don't get a second. There's a good bubble for the third. And now Blank gonna make it a quadra here. Lucian, Corki with the triple, by the way. That might have actually been a quadra. No, it's a triple. I can't read that much Chinese.
I only saw, I know the number 3. That's as much as I know, yeah.
Well, thankfully, I used to learn Japanese. It's lovely that it's getting tumped on by Amazing J.
Love letter.
Again, another big fight. Love letter, nothing he can do. He's getting zoned out of his own turrets here by Amazing J, and this is going to be a big break of the base. And Energy Pacemaker, I don't know how they keep doing this in this series, by the way, but they seem to, play kind of slow, kind of, dance around a little bit, maybe have some fun, and then all of a sudden, one fight, and that's it.
Yeah, the moment.
By the way, by Xerath, that was just dumb.
That was, yeah. This game has been a bit ridiculous. EP in general. When EP has the solution, they just decide to turn it on and just go ham at all times. Like, the entire game, Amazing J was kind of like holding back, kind of farming, trying to duel the Fizz, and then suddenly he turns on and just goes ham on everybody he sees. This is just, like, EPC will get the dragon. but I'm not sure how that'll like it won't fare well for this team. I mean, they do have the Baron on them still, I guess.
It's I mean, they're happy to have it. That's for sure. I mean, I think one person has the Baron.
Yeah,
They all,
Lucian, I
so I'm
think.
pretty sure Lovelater has it, but I don't think anyone else has it anymore. Xerath and Corki set up for the Quadra, I believe. One for Xerath with the triple there for Corki. And Energy Pacemaker is going to continue to pick up the pace in this game. The gold evens back a bit after that Dragon. 4,000 now between these two teams. Even in kills, but not even in a whole lot of other ways here. And Energy Pacemaker have carved themselves out quite a spot here in this particular game. 3 item power spikes hitting across the board now as well. I actually just looked at Captain's build, by the way. He's just gone hyper aggressive on this Kha'Zix. No respect, no Randall and Zoman, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just give him that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, Hex Drink, and Brutalizer. Pickaxe now, apparently.
Yeah. I guess he's going into that last whisper. He just wants to do as much damage as possible. Captain.
Full damage Kha'Zix.
Yeah. He's the captain. That's what they call him, the captain.
Yeah. Well,
He's
and I mean,
charge.
yes. Taking charge indeed. And if there weren't oh man, amazing. Never mind. Gonna go in here. Good knock up there as well. The Taro actually hits everyone there. There's Aurelia able to clean up, gets the reset for the Blade Surge, but gets popped there by Lucian, but never mind as Corki picks up the double. Super Cat's trying to find an ult, finds the two-man slow plus the stun, but a good Void Spike there coming through. Big one gonna clean up, and there's another kill for Kane. It's Energy Pacemaker just running over EPC in these games. No matter what happens, when we get to 30 minutes, get to 40 minutes, Energy Pacemaker go, oh, you know what we want to do? We want to go win the game. And that's actually what might be happening here. Although pretty early on at 30 and a half minutes, Lovelater has to be careful. Don't stand there, buddy. You don't want it.
Don't
do it. He's did it. Oh man, Kane's going to go straight in. Tries to dodge it, but not enough. They hop in out easy there for Captain. And this is going to be the game, I think, here, Raz. Energy Pacemaker going to 2-0 their sister team here. Oh my god, that bubble was ridiculous.
That bubble.
Just for style at the end there. Good game, well played. And Energy Pacemaker, look how happy they look. They had that under wraps the whole time. Maybe playing with their food a little bit, but they will just showing where they are one of the favorites to qualify for the LPL expansion here.
Don't be too sad, EPC. EPC played this so well, where everyone kind of called them out. Like, no one believed this team would do well, but they fought extremely hard. In fact, going into this, I felt like, of course, Energy Pacemakers as an organization, it was a win-win situation for them. They had control over who would, like, win the series, honestly. There was a bit of concern on that part, but this team, honestly, the players, they had the drive, they had the will to win. They played as hard as they possibly could, and it just didn't amount to much, so.
I mean, yeah, great series to kick things off. So remember, there are 2 more best of 3s coming up, guys. And unfortunately, we won't be bringing them to you. We'll be handing off some other casters for you guys. But it's been great fun so far. And of course, Pastry Time. That's Razzleplasm. Raz, while you're here, why don't you go rattle off your social media so people know where they can find you, because they certainly want to.
Yeah, at Razzleplasm. So RAZLEPLASM. It was an honor, and it was honestly really fun casting with you, man. It was. We should do it more sometimes.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine, dude. Yeah. Anything else? Facebook, Twitter, anything else you want to go? I don't know, shout outs. Whatever you want.
Shout out to LPL EN in general, just for allowing me to do this. It's a fun ride. I'm still gonna be here, I think Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure on what's gonna happen there. But yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Awesome. So I should be back Sunday as well. Not sure who I'll be with, but it'll be fun, guys. And of course, Page Charm. Used to cast the LPL. Been great back. Big ups to the LPL and the LPL English broadcast team for having me in. I'm just here having some fun, helping out with the casting, because there is a lot of expansion tournament to cast, if you guys haven't noticed. But it's if you guys do want to follow me on social media, I'd love to chat to you guys and hit you up. It's at PastryTime on Twitter, where I'm super active, or Facebook.com/PastryTime, where you can find me as well. But with that, we're done. I'm Pastry. I'm signing off for Razzleplasm as well. Guys, I will see you sometime else on the weekend, but enjoy the rest of the LPL expansion. We've got more best of 3s coming up after this.
只是为了能看见你快乐。 就算是付出我的一切在所不惜，只要能打破这个诅咒，去面对，再努力点，再努力点，冷眼相待，不想再沉默。无论怎样，不能示弱，挣脱这身上的枷锁，想回到，让我展翅高飞的住所。别离开我，别离开我，至少留下一点温柔。都破碎了，都破碎了，记忆像经验般被打破。都离开了，都离开了，力量消散在漩涡。别再脆弱，别再脆弱，痛苦的眼泪一起剥夺。即使这样也没有用，如果是梦就请让我醒来吧。